Quickly, I'm joining you all, and I planned to cover up the topic the sentences because though it is in the playlist, in the video list, but we never conduct, I guess, in live stream. So we are going to cover that. Some of the students they ask about simple, complex, and compound, but rest of the parts were still pending. Join me and get benefited because exam is also near because grammar is participants because half yearly exam notified, so children must be busy in preparing for a half yearly exam, right? Anyhow, I got one participant. Ayush Patil is there. Very good evening, beta. Ankur is also there. Ankur Pandey. Very good evening, beta. Thank you for joining, all of you. Soumya Tiwari is also there. Hello, beta. Good evening to you. Gaming Kush is there. Gaming with AS. Somebody else it is. Gaming Kush, I heard. You have retracted your message. Why so? So today we are covering the topic, the sentences, right? As we know that the sentences is a group of words. Sentences are the group of words which make complete sense in itself, right? Anybody can tell the difference between sentences, phrases, clauses. Angel is also there. Hi ma'am, what's up? This is another Angel, I guess. One Angel Tiwari is from my class. This is another Angel. I guess you are outsider, beta. Angel, mention please. Outsider. Are you from APS Ayodhya? Okay, okay. I got it. I got it actually. Everything is fine, beta. Thank you for joining. So today we are covering the law. You have in your school half yearly exam is going to start. Any notification regarding that? I hope it is. It must be. Rohit Kumar, Didi, please you support BJP party. Though I support, this is the only option we have. But it is not the right platform where you entered. Rohit Bhaiya, please go somewhere else and promote your party. Hello, ma'am. I'm Nikit from class 6th C. Hello, beta. Thank you for joining. Shaurya Mishra, good evening, ma'am. Very good evening, beta. TPS Talks, hi, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Angel is there, ma'am. What is the syllabus, ma'am? Syllabus, beta, it is already shared among groups. Angel is asking, Savala, you are outsider, then why you are asking, beta? Rohit Kumar, for your kind information, don't try to make it a Hindu nation. It is, you know very well. If you studied and you are educated, then you must be knowing, you should know that India is a democratic and secular country where all the religions have equal rights, equal liberty. Okay, wait. Rohit. So, ma'am, what is the syllabus? I'm not in group. ABS only Allahabad ones. So I don't the syllabus. Can you tell me, please? Beta, your syllabus and here's syllabus of your the it will not match. I don't think so, right? So whatever the portion covered in your school, that definitely that will come from that only. Though if in your particular book 8 chapters are there, then most probably 4 chapters will come. Four chapter will come in your half yearly, and four will be rest for your annual exam. That is the strategy behind how to make the prepare the syllabus for half yearly exam, right? And the portions which is already covered in your PT1, from that 30% questions come, right? 30% question comes in that. So you need to accordingly make the strategy like that. Otherwise, you can wait for the syllabus. Your subject teacher will give you, right? The time your dates will be notified. You will definitely you'll get as early as possible. You get your syllabus also. Every school follow the same norms, right? Beta Angel, I hope I'm clear. So let's start the topic, the sentences. So first thing we need to understand in when we start sentences, we need to understand what are the parts of the sentences. We can break it into two: subject and predicate. This thing firstly we should know about it. After that, once we get to understand that this is a subject and this is predicate, then we need to start with what are the kinds of sentences, right? Ma'am, I'm Angel Tiwari. Okay, beta. Then why you were doing making this thing, beta? Great. So you are using today. You are using another ID, right, beta? Don't behave like you are like boys of our class. So don't play any sort of prank. But you played so well. Thank you. Like you are good in academics and other things, stretching and all. So very good in prank as well, right, beta? So let's start with the topic. We will be discussing what sentences. So kinds of sentences. What are they? Now jump for this. Phantom is also joined. Are you sure, beta? Beta Prakhar, if it is you. Hello, ma'am. Jai India, Jai Bharat. Jai India, Jai Bharat, beta. Jai India, not Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. It is. And Jai is Jai. Jai. No angel who bhai. No, ma'am. You people decided better because, yes, I'm in also dilemma that it cannot be angel. So might be it is Prakhar. So last 2 3 days, angel was not joining me. So I was also guessing something wrong is there. So Prakhar, beta, if it is you, stop doing that and let's jump for studies. Cover up the topic. Actually, I went outside and came back and I found that laptop is just at zero condition. So I don't want to do late like yesterday and day before. It was 10:30 and yesterday though I conducted at 11 on my own and somehow I posted. So we were discussing about the kinds of sentences. We discussed about subject and predicate. Subject means the doer of the subject. Accepted doer of the subject, rest of the part will be predicate. Okay. So you need to understand if some name is given, that will be subject. Okay. If there any pronoun is given, that will be come in subject. Means you should understand the whatever the action is performed in that particular sentence, that will become in the subject and rest of the portion, including your helping verb, right? Everything, every portion, rest of the portion will be predicate, right? So that way you need to understand first thing. Once you start sentences, that this is a subject and this particular portion is predicate, right? Next is assertive kinds of sentences we are going to study about. That is assertive sentence. Assertive is also called as declarative sentences, right? So assertive and declarative is always comes like when you are talking about any particular thing, specifying and mentioning that something is happening in the sentence, then that will be called as declarative. You are declaring something, and that will be in the positive tone, positive sense, right? Next is interrogative sentence. These sentences ask questions. Okay, it starts with question word or helping verb, right? And at the end of the sentence, always you will find question mark, right? Next is imperative sentences. Imperative sentences are showing request, order, advice, suggestion, that sort of things would be there in the sentence. Please give me, right? And don't waste resources, respect the elders, like that your sentences should be. So you are conveying your request, your command, your suggestion, right? Order, all will come in that, right? Imperative sentences. Then exclamatory sentence is there. In exclamatory sentence, first thing as like in your interrogative, you will find at the end of the sentence question mark. But here in exclamatory sentence, you will find a mark of exclamation, right? Beta, those who are making an prank and so, please stop it. मैं प्रखर नहीं हूँ and all this. Stop just typing Roman Hindi or Hindi. What it? I want sincerity. I want your sincere interaction. If you have something sincere, then share it. Otherwise, just keep shut and listen to me carefully. Okay? Otherwise, leave the live stream if you don't have time for a study. 2 days you have anything you are wasting. And Phantom Eyes Gaming, you are. If I'm not, you are Hitesh, right? So same thing you started. What you do in the class, beta? Frequent absent you are. Last 2 3 days you were absent, and your parents did not attend the PTM as well. So this is not a way, beta. Behave sensibly. I'm sorry, I can't understand what you are teaching. It's out of my mind. Angel is saying this. How could it be? Field observations, safety, income tax officer, field observation, OHE safety. Just notice your question, what you are asking. If I'm teaching here English, how could I be income tax officer? All right. So just send some relevant question, right? Exclamatory, as I was mentioning, exclamatory sentences are those which in which you are showing your exclamatory reactions, emotions you are showing, right? And at the sentence and end of the sentence, you always find exclamatory mark, right? For example, wow, how beautiful this moment is. Alas, the great poet is no more. Okay, so that way. Oh, what a pity that they can't even afford food, right? This way your sentence would be framed. So fine, we have discussed about the kinds of sentences. Now we can discuss the, in another book it is given types of sentences, simple, complex and compound. I'm going to cover that also together. Okay, so let's jump. Wait for a while. Let me open the page number here. So for this thing, types of sentences, we studied parts of sentences, subject, predicate. Then kinds of sentences that were assertive, declarative, then interrogative, then imperative, then exclamatory, right? These were we covered there in the kinds. Now we are going to study about types of sentences. These are simple sentence, compound, simple, compound, and complex sentences, right? So one by one, we are going to cover up this as well. For that, you should know. Firstly, you should know your this concept should be very clear that what are the kinds of. Then only you can switch to the types of sentences. So for the simple sentence, contains a subject and a predicate. Okay. As I told you at the beginning, if you are starting the sentences, then your first concept should be very clear, that subject and predicate, right? So once you get the subject and predicate, then you can easily understand what is simple sentence as well. Contains a subject and a predicate. Okay. In a sample sentence, only one subject will be there and one predicate will be there, right? No other predicates and no other subject, right? So express a complete thought, and that if it is a sentence, then obviously it will convey a complete sense itself, right? That's why it is called a sentence. Otherwise, it would be considered as a phrase and a clause, right? So if we are considering it simple sentence, it means the masses will be conveyed, right? So that way you need to understand. For example, the boys went to the park. We like pizza, right? So two short sentences, simple sentences I told you. Next is compound sentence, right? Compound sentence, as its name refers, it is compound, means mixture of, right? So contains two or more independent clauses, right? Independent means there will be two clauses, and both the clauses means what? A group of words which are making sense. It can be make complete sense also, and it cannot be make complete sense. But it will be two parts. In two parts, the similar sentence will be two parts, and it have the complete sense, right? So if it is a complete sense, then it will be called as independent clause and main clause. And if it is dependent on the other part of the sentence, then in that case it will be called as subordinate clause or the dependent clause. It is dependent on the rest part of the sentence, right? So that way you need to understand, in compound sentences you will find two or more independent clause, right? It can be two clauses, right? But both clause will consider as complete sense, right? They are not dependent on anybody to convey their message, right? So that way clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction, you people must recall, we discussed about fanboys last time. When somebody asked me about this type of sentences, those type of sentences was discussed. I guess that child was Jaman. Jaman asked me once about simple, compound, and complex, but we did not cover the complete sentences, right? So that's why I took the this particular portion and this particular topic, because this is coming in your half yearly exam as well, and that's why I thought it is important to cover it up, right? So we fanboys, you need to remember, F stands for, A stands for N stands for not, B stands for but, O stands for or, and Y stands for yet, right? So I'm Abhinav of classes 10th B. Thank you so much, beta, for joining. Very good evening to you. So this topic is coming in your test. Okay, fine. So these topics you can cover, right? And after that, we are switching to the complex sentence. Firstly, let me tell you compound sentences and few examples. Examples, these fanboys will definitely come in between the sentence, between the two independent clauses, right? Two main clauses will be there, and they will be added with for, and, not, but, or, yet, right? This way they will be added, right? So for example, the boys went to the park, but they did not go to the zoo. So we like pizza and we like uh, burger, simply. So pizza and burger. We like pizza means it is also making complete sense, and we like burger. It is also complete sense, and both are added by two independent clauses are there which are making complete sense, and these are added by and. Okay. So I am Abhinav from class 10th B, Numa, but for my knowledge, and some disgusting people are also entered. I don't have any place for them. Immediately leave it if you don't want to get blocked. Okay. So let's continue with the complex sentences. It contains one independent clause and a dependent clause, right? So what it contains, why it is independent clause? Because one sentence is the beginning of the sentence will be making the complete sense, but the rest of the sentence will be dependent on the second one, first one, right? So that may be what we call that it contains independent clause and dependent clause, right? So both will be there. That's why they are called as complex, right, Peter? So complex sentences are they, right? So dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction, and the second part that will be subordinating conjunction that will be also begins with a subordinating conjunction. That is also required conjunctions. Earlier we read that in compound sentences, what are the conjunctions required? Coordinating, and in complex sentences, what conjunctions are required? Subordinating conjunctions, right? So this way. Fine, because, and what are those subordinating conjunctions? These are, look for these subordinating conjunctions after, before, because, although, when, since, if, whenever, unless, while, so that, even though, and wherever, right? So these kind of subordinating conjunction will come in between the sentence, and it will add one independent clause, main clause, and other one is subordinate clause, right? So this way you need to prepare yourself. For example, because the boys went to the park and they did not go to the zoo, right? They did not go to the boys did not go to the zoo because they went to the park, right? I mean, now you could see, you could understand that because boys went to the park, right? This particular where the begin without putting because they did not go to the zoo, right? This sentence cannot be complete, right? Because the boys went to the park, they did not go to the zoo, right? So two questions are given and it is added with the because, right, which is subordinating conjunction, and one is dependent. They did not go to the zoo. This is a complete sentence, right? And first one is because they went to the park, right? This is in dependent clause, right? Subordinating clause, because they are not making complete sense. With the help of because, they are added with the next portion of the sentence, right? With the main clause, they are added with the main clause. The boy did not go to the zoo because they went to the park, right? Now here they have twisted. At the beginning of the sentence, main clause is shifted, and in the second part, because they went to the park, this is the, now this will be called as the dependent clause. In first sentence, first example, the first part was dependent clause and second part was the main clause. Here this shifted the idea from the first beginning to the second part, right? So that way. So this way you need to understand we have cover up sentences as per the subject, predicate, then its kinds. For that declarative, declarative is also called as assertive declarative, or you can say positive sentence, then interrogative sentence, then imperative sentence, after that exclamatory sentence, and after that we also covered the types of sentences, that is simple, compound, and complex, right? So all we covered like this, and you can listen the video, and after that you can correlate the content which is given in your textbook. It will be definitely a great help for you all to prepare your content, whatever the content, whatever the examples and are given in your book. It will definitely, it will make you understand, right? You will comprehend the things in a right manner. Okay, so beta, I just explained it quickly, but some of them are not in the mood to study. They are clashing with each other, and so I have no words for such people. And I don't know why such people join this. Well, I cannot help it. It is a platform open for everyone. So if you are in any bit mood to study, then most welcome. Otherwise, you can any moment leave, and don't. Somebody has mentioned sorry, ma'am. So it should be by the heart, right? Instead of clashing and doing this with each other, you can study, right? You can share your example, you can share your ideas related with the topic. You have any query, any doubt related with the topic, or any other topic which is coming in your test, because we have already covered nouns, pronouns, adjective, adverbs, verbs, preposition, conjunction. Interjection was not covered, though it is not given as a separate chapter in any of the book. So that's why interjection was left out, and it is not left at all because it is covered in the sentences as well. Exclamatory sentences are automatically comes in the interrogatives, right? So this way we covered all the parts of speeches. Apart from that, tenses we have covered, right? Present tense, past tense, future tense, and apart from that, all the 12 subtypes. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Apart from that, the rest of the 8 parts: past tense, simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous, then future also in few of the books. Separate chapter, in a separate chapter it is given. One chapter is dedicated for the present tense, another is dedicated for the past tense, and next was the one as the future tense, right? So separately you need to understand and practice it accordingly. For future tense, simple future, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous, right? Right, like that. So you can prepare this way. And apart from that, direct, indirect, though it is not coming in any of the class, I guess, because these chapters are given at the second half of the book. I mean, once you covered up the 10 chapters, then it comes at the 11, 12 or so. So we are covering heart to heart 10 chapters. So this one not came in your syllabus, not coming in your half yearly exam. Even though for your sake of knowledge, for enhancing your writing skill and your spoken, you should prepare these particular topics: direct, indirect, active, passive. So I hope I'm clear with all these. And if you have any doubt related to any topic, you can ask. Free to ask, right? And if you don't, I am going to close because 30 minutes is more than enough for me. And if you people are not interactive, you are writing all the sort of irrelevant and disgraceful things here, then I cannot continue more than 30 minutes. I'm done with my topic, and so I'm going to wrap up. Hi, good evening. How are you? Are you from? May I ask you one question? If the question you have decent and relevant question, then definitely your question is most welcome. You may ask. It is mentioned on the channel as well, though I'm Meenal Singh, Mrs. Meenal Singh. Just aim yourself in a right track, educate yourself in a right manner. Okay? So that you can be counted as a good citizen, right? This is very, very important thing. If you are educated, you should be sensible and a good citizen for a country, so that you can contribute, you can serve the nation. No work is small and big, but if you are, how sincerely you are doing that work, that matters. That makes the difference. My many participants, they already answered you, I hope. The ultimate purpose of education is to become a good human being. right? And some inhuman entered here. There is no place for such people. Got it? Well, thank you, everyone.